Hi everyone, my name is Daniel and welcome to my channel. I thought I would take this video to introduce myself. I am an oil on canvas artist, started in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. Much like a lot of people, I was stuck at home. I struggle with multiple sclerosis. Everyone struggles with something, right? And my family has gone through that journey. My family has gone through the journey of my daughter, 14 months at 14 months of age in 2017, was diagnosed with pediatric cancer, and so we went through that nightmare. And then my wife later that year had cardiac arrest while our daughter was in treatment in the hospital. And so we've gone through a lot of dark times in our journey. And so in 2020, it was just another layer. It was almost familiar in a sense of that here comes yet another storm. And this storm required us to stay at home. And with my compromised immune system and with my daughter's compromised immune system at the time, we were already sort of used to isolating. But it was reinforced, as you know. And then in 2020, with the pandemic, these artists started to reemerge on television. One of them was Bob Ross. Another I found later was Bill Alexander. But I took an interest in art, much like a lot of people, and of course my journey is laid out on my website, and I have talked about my journey before, but today I want to talk about a painting. So I'm going to my studio for the first time in months. My mom passed away December 1st, and I haven't been back out here. So this is my studio. This is an old children's playhouse on our property. The kids have long since grown up. And years ago, I converted it into a studio. It needs a lot of work, but it works. It works for me. So I'm gonna open this and see what I need to do. I haven't been out here in months. So here's the thing. I haven't been out in this place in a long time, in months. And mom got sick. Oh, I mean, she got sick before she was diagnosed, but she was diagnosed August 1. And I'm going to sit down because I am. Mom got sick August 1, or got diagnosed August 1, colon cancer. And you go through all the stages, right? Maybe she'll get better. Maybe the doctors have an answer. Maybe all the maybes. Then you go through the stages of this doesn't look like it's going to change. And before you're ready really to accept what's coming, other people sometimes are ready to accept outside of your family, outside of your immediate circle. And hearing those things sometimes is hard. I mean, it is. It's not sometimes, it's hard. You don't want to. You almost think like they're putting bad luck on it, right? Which is just, I guess, silly and part of the stage of going through grief. At that easel over there, what's going to come out of it? And there's the canvas I'm going to use. And so here I am. I have a mess to clean, but I need to get back up again. And so that's why I'm out here. God bless. So here I am again. I have my very cheap canvas, cheaply bought. You know, I'm not this great artist. I'm just a guy with a canvas and an easel and paints and a brush and a desire to paint, and we'll see what happens. And you don't have to be anybody to get a paintbrush and a canvas and get an easel. And man, again, look at my first painting. And so if the desire is there, God can do the rest, right? Practice. Anything you enjoy, you practice in life. And this is something I enjoy. And so there is my gessoed, inexpensive canvas. A number of years ago, I saw this video, and I don't know if it's accurate. I mean, who knows? You know, a lot of it's trial and error. But on the back of this, I don't know if you can see that, but I gessoed white gesso, same thing, the back, because someone said, an artist said, a reputable artist, his name of course escapes me at the moment, he said that when you that when you paint, when you gesso, to gesso obviously the front, but also do the back, because I guess the picture is better, more clear. I don't have the artist language. Sorry, guys. I'm just an average guy with some dreams and things like that. So while that dries, actually, I'm going to do, I think, a coat of something, maybe black gesso down below. I sometimes do mixed media, so a little bit of acrylic with oil, sometimes just oil. Sometimes I just kind of follow the gut. I'm going to follow the gut today. Well, I have my studio cleaned up, and I think I'm ready to get busy and paint. That was quite the work, but it's nice to be in a functioning studio again. And so here's the canvas. I don't know what's going to come out. We'll see. It's got Payne's gray, has some black acrylic, some white obviously, and some ultramarine blue. I went with an old fan brush, sketched in some kind of foggy distant trees, and we'll see what comes out when it dries. Life is fragile, and we can spend our time grieving, and sometimes it's easy to throw a blanket over our head. Mom was one of my biggest supporters when it came to painting. She was always supportive. Even if I brought in something less than stellar, Mom would say, "Oh, that looks nice, honey." One time she said, "Oh, is that what you meant to do?" She had a subtle, sometimes a little sarcasm, unintentional sarcasm. She was so sweet and so loving and so supportive, and she prayed with me often. Every day we prayed for 5 years, starting in May of 2020. I came to her and I said, "Mom, I'm really struggling with something." And I grew up a pastor's kid. I grew up someone that didn't want to pray. I grew up all of those things. And, we go through it, don't we, with life. And so I went to my mom. I said, "Mom, you want to pray?" And it started this pattern of nearly every day for 5 years. We prayed for all sorts of people, family, friends, people all over the world, causes all over the world, against wars. We prayed for peace. We prayed all sorts of things. And my mom prayed with me over my MS. I just struggle with MS. And man, she was a really a wonderful mom. And again, big supporter of my painting. And so she helped me put, she would pray with me over these ideas that I would get. And I started having these ideas. I just in prayer, and I thought, God wanted me to focus on this. And so for the last year and a half or so, I would focus more so on print on demand type stuff. What do people want to see? And so there's candles, and there's jewelry, and there's blankets. Isn't that crazy? Putting your artwork on all this stuff and making it affordable. So it's not, $1 million for someone to get a piece of art. It's affordable, and it's, it comes in a reasonable time frame. And so I've been navigating through all of that, and then it dawned on me, this is February, middle of February, and I'm still not painting. I'm still not getting back up again. So I need to get back up again. And maybe, I don't know, maybe there's no one watching, and you just happen to be one person that happened to click on this, and you're watching. What is this guy talking about? And why is he in a children's studio surrounded by a mess? And why is there paint all over his jacket? And why is there all the whys? This is the answer. Is that years ago, I used to work full time. Before I was diagnosed with MS, I worked a couple of years more, and then I couldn't. And 2020 happened, and I think we all had our own 2020, right? And I think a lot of people started painting during that time, and so I did too. My first painting was atrocious. It was awful. I almost quit. And something inside and my family told me to try again, and just to keep trying and trying and trying. It became a passion, and it became something that God, I felt, wanted to do with. And now here I am in this messy studio, wondering, how did I get here? And would Mom want me to be doing this? And she would, but more importantly, God would want me to keep doing this, to get back up again. And so I play the piano because he put that there, and I paint because he put that there, and so here I am wondering what's next. So I'm about maybe a third of the way through. This is the painting. I can get a good shot of that. So I decided on a mixed media, and so I'm not sure what to call this, but obviously it's a winter scene. There's sunlight in the background through the trees, kind of fogged out. There's a distant pond or lake. I'm using knife on the foreground for the trees. I just enjoy playing with the knife. Working with lights and darks with the undercoating of the snow, and I'm just enjoying it. Kind of a misty background, and I'm not sure what to call it. Maybe morning mist. I'm not sure. Morning glory or something. I don't know. But I'm about a third of the way through. I'm going to take a break for today. Please visit my website at scrivart.com or scrivart.shop. There's multiple options available to you. I would just encourage you, just send me a note. I would like to talk with you. Again, my name is Daniel, the artist here in Olympia, Washington. I'm a little bit of an introvert, and so I'm hoping that perhaps I can come out of my shell a little bit as I introduce my artwork to you and to the community. Take care.